Hi everyone. Thanks for joining today. I know it's 1:15 p.m. You may want to take a nap, but today I'll be talking about stablecoins and Angle. So Angle is a protocol I've been developing and I'm currently developing with some friends of mine. It's built to be an over-collateralized and capital efficient decentralized stablecoin protocol. So the root of the project was the need to build a euro stablecoin. What's important to understand today in DeFi is that there is no widespread and liquid euro stablecoins. There are several reasons for that. The first one is the difficulty to build a centralized euro stablecoin. So you have no or almost no Tether equivalent in euro. So the two reasons for that is first that there are negative interest rates in the Eurozone, meaning if you are a centralized company trying to build a stablecoin protocol, well, because of the negative interest rates, you can't keep as much reserves as the fiat money you have. So every year, let's say you have 100 in the bank, at the end of the year, you end up with 99.9 if you don't do anything with these reserves because of the negative interest rates, meaning you are getting under collateralized. And there are also some regulatory reasons that prevented the emergence of euro stablecoins. So the reason why we wanted to build a euro stablecoin was that in DeFi, when you're like us based in Europe, you are subject to the volatility of the USD with respect to the euro. So in 2020, in order to be profitable on stable USD, you would have needed to make a 13% APY on your stable USD, which seemed fine in 2020, but not sure it's going to stay like that every year. So for people in Europe and for people using not dollar as their home currencies, having euro stablecoins or stablecoin pegged to their home currencies is something which is definitely needed. And that's why we decided to tackle the problem. The question now is, how do you build a euro stablecoin? So as I told, the centralized way is really complex in euro, so it was not the best way to proceed. So one way to do things, and there are also several protocols that do that, is to copy Maker and just change the oracle. We could have done that, but for several reasons we did not. The first reason is that Maker wants to launch a euro DAI, so not the best thing to do to try to copy them. And also when we started to really dig in Maker's protocol, well, we realized that there were some flaws in the protocol, which made us think, well, this couldn't hold for a euro stablecoins. The main flaw, I think, of Maker's protocol is that it's not capital efficient. To get one DAI, unless you use USDC as collateral, but to get one DAI, you need at least 1.5 ETH as collateral, or depending on the collateral you use, you need to lock up more collateral. That's the first thing. The second thing is that with Maker, you don't have, unless you use USDC as collateral, you never have direct arbitrage opportunities whenever the price of the stablecoins deviate from peg. And when the price of DAI deviated from peg, so before the implementation of USDC as collateral, well, an active governance was needed to be able to play on the stability fee to incentivize or disincentivize people from issuing DAI. So because of this first capital inefficiency and of this inability to sustain the peg if you don't have USDC as the collateral, we thought, okay, maybe this is not the best way. We also wanted to have a protocol which could be generalizable. And I think that's kind of a problem with many DeFi protocols today, is that everything is built around dollar. And what's important, like Synthetics does, is the ability to have a protocol that could be used to issue euro stablecoins, Korean won stablecoins. But you could imagine stablecoins pegged to other assets. It doesn't need to be a forex currency. You could have a stable Tesla share like Terra does, or you can even have a stable temperature in Paris. You could really peg stablecoins to anything you want. So we wanted to build a protocol that could be fully stable, and to have this full stability, what you need is to have some sort of direct convertibility between stablecoin and collateral, meaning you give the protocol one of collateral, you get one of stablecoin, and conversely, you get one of stablecoin, you get one of collateral. Because this convertibility, this is what creates the arbitrage opportunities whenever price deviates from peg. We could have gone also into under-collateralized designs, which are also capital efficient. We decided not to do so because we haven't seen many projects working really well. There are some which start to work well. So now Frax is at PEG, Faye is at PEG, and congrats to them for doing so. We're just trying to explore another vertical. But we wanted to have something which is over-collateralized to keep the robustness in front of bank runs, and in order not to have to prevent exits in case of liquidity crisis. So how do we build a stablecoin protocol that is capital efficient but over-collateralized? So our protocol has several features that enable us to achieve this. And I'm going to go over these features one by one so that you can understand how we can keep this capital efficiency while having the robustness of over-collateralized protocols. So the way Angle works, it's very much like Uniswap. You give the protocol 1 ETH or an accepted collateral. We look at Oracle value and we swap you. We issue the stablecoins based on the Oracle price. And conversely, at any time with your stablecoins, you can redeem collateral based on the Oracle value of your stablecoins. So if 1 ETH is worth 2,000 euro, you give the protocol 1 ETH, we issue 2,000 tokens. And with your 2,000 tokens, if the price of 1 ETH is 1,000 euro, then we need to give you 2 ETH to be able to trade you at Oracle value. The question is, how do we find this other ETH on the market to be always able to keep enough reserves regardless of the volatility of the collateral? So I'm just going to make a small parenthesis here. When you think about it, stablecoin protocols, decentralized protocols, I'm not talking like about protocols or companies like Circle USDC or Tether USDT. A decentralized protocol to make stablecoins, it's all about taking volatile crypto collateral to issue a stable asset. So it's about taking something that is volatile, making it stable, but you need to remove the volatility at some point to be able to guarantee this stability. So what we do at Angle to insure the protocol against the volatility of the collateral, to make sure that regardless of the price variations of ETH or of the collateral we accept, we are able to sustain the convertibility and the redeemability between stablecoins and collateral. We issue what we call perpetual futures. So it's leveraging contracts. We sell to people who are going to come to the protocol and say, look, you have 1 ETH in reserves that was used by someone to issue stablecoins, so someone giving me 1 ETH and getting 2,000 tokens in exchange. You have this 1 ETH. I bring you a small amount of collateral, or the amount of collateral I want, so it can be 1 ETH, and I accept to cover the volatility of this ETH you have in reserves. So now, how does it work? If the price of ETH doubles, just for the example, well, this person, we call it the aging agents in our protocol, they are entitled, well, she is entitled, this person entitled to get the capital gain she would have made if she had owned the ETH. So now if the price of ETH doubles from 2,000 euros to 4,000 euros, this person which came in and said, look, I'm going to cover the volatility of this ETH, she has the right to the capital gain she would have made if she had owned the ETH she covers. So the capital gain is 4,000 minus 2,000, it's 2,000 euros. And at current Oracle price, 2,000 euros, it's 0.5 ETH. So this person, she brought 1 ETH to the protocol or whatever she wanted, and she gets the right to what she brought plus the capital gain. And conversely, if the price of ETH decreases, well, this person, she has to pay using the collateral she brought for the capital loss of the ETH she covered. So if the price of ETH is divided by 2, the capital loss is 1,000 euro, which at current Oracle price is 1 ETH. So we take 1 ETH from this person to be able to sustain the convertibility. So it's a bit technical. I did not get it the first time, but after working on it, I can tell you it works. So as it stands, and as I'm describing the protocol now, Angle is like a marketplace between stability and volatility. It's a marketplace between people who want stability and people who want volatility and get the volatility of the collateral that was brought by people wanting stability. The thing is, and so we are not the first one with this idea. So variable, I see some people worked on this project before in the room. They had this idea to make a stablecoin by matching stability to volatility. The thing that we do and that makes us a bit different, I think, is that we accept the fact that at all times our offer in volatility is not going to be fully covered by what we call hedging agents. For instance, when someone comes in the protocol and gives us 1 ETH to get stablecoins, we're not waiting for someone else to come and to say, look, I'm going to cover the volatility of this ETH. We directly swap the person and hope that someone will come to cover the volatility of this ETH. So in order to be able to do so, we need to have some sort of buffer for the moment where there is an imbalance between the offer and the demand of volatility. And our innovation is that we rely on a third type of agent. We call them standard liquidity providers. They are just people giving money to the protocol and in exchange they receive an interesting yield from the protocol's reserves. And so these people, they are the buffer for the moments where the protocol's collateral is not fully covered. So how do we incentivize these people to come? Well, first we take some small transaction fees to our users wanting stability. That's the first thing. And also, the second thing is that our protocol owns reserves. So let's say that a moment in time, there is 150 of collateral in the protocol, 50 coming from so the third type of agent, standard liquidity providers. Well, there is nothing preventing us from getting yield on these reserves. So we can, for instance, this 150, we can lend it to Compound or Aave or build whatever strategy you want on this, get yield on 150, but this yield on 150, we are just distributing it to the liquidity providers, which brought 50 in the protocol. So there is a super interesting multiplier effect in this, and we can propose them leveraged returns, leverage yields, and higher yields than what they would get if they were directly going to Compound or going to Aave. And that's the incentive for them to come to Angle. So just to sum it up, Angle is a protocol with stability. You can get stable coins at Oracle value with no slippage anytime you want. And you can always swap these stable coins for collateral, for the collateral type you want, without having to pay big transaction fees and with no slippage on the price you pay to get the stable coins. That's the first feature. Then the second feature, we offer perpetual futures contract, so leveraging contracts. And the leverage we offer is a way more straightforward leverage than what you get by using, I don't know, Maker or Compound or Aave, where you have to deposit, borrow, swap, and then you get leverage. In our case, in just one transaction, you get leverage with the multiple you want. And you can cash out anytime, getting your capital gains or having lost a little with the capital losses with the variation of the collateral. Second thing. Third thing, we offer classical liquidity mining. With, as I explained, we can offer more interesting yield than what you get by going to Compound or by using Yearn or by using Aave, whatever staking protocol or farming protocol you have. That's the first thing. And one point I did not insist on is that you can see our protocol as an automated market maker with no slippage on the price. You can come to the protocol, give us 1 ETH, we give you 2,000 euros. But once you have stablecoins, you can redeem the collateral type of your choice. So you can use your 2,000 euros to redeem a wrapped Bitcoin. And so you can see our protocol as the medium of exchange between ETH and wrapped Bitcoin in this case. But it can work for any collateral type we have. And so these are the main features of the protocol. We started by wanting to build a Euro stablecoin, and then we arrived in a point where we have lots of DeFi core components to make a stablecoin stable. And so the point where we are in the project, so we are going to get audited from next week, and we hope to launch in October after the end of the audit. We will start with just a Euro stablecoin. So all the cool things I told you about leverage, it's not going to be super useful in the beginning because we will play it safe. It's so hard to build an algorithmic stablecoins. And so we will start with a Euro stablecoin backed by USDC and DAI. And then on the roadmap, we want to accept potentially any collateral type. So it can be ETH, it can be wrapped Bitcoin. We'll push for more decentralization in the collateral types we accept. And so wrapped Bitcoin is not decentralized, but you get the idea. On the roadmap, as I said, the idea is not to make a euro stablecoin. So the euro is first because it's an untapped opportunity, and because there is a real need for euro-pegged stablecoins in the market. But we really want to go also in the USD because that's where liquidity is, and that's where, that's the currency people like to play currently in DeFi. But we also want to go with Korean won, GBP, Swiss franc, and all that currencies. And we really count on our community to propose new collateral types and to propose new stable coins we should implement. And the last thing is that our stable coins are all independent from one another. It's not like synthetics. If one stablecoin fails, in our case, the system is not at risk, as the collateral pools for each stablecoin are completely independent. And that's something we really wanted to have to make sure that if we experiment with a stable temperature in Paris, if this doesn't work, well, that's not going to harm the whole protocol. And that's what we care about, experimenting about stablecoins. It's an active research area, and we welcome any new idea to improve the protocol. And yeah, to make a building block of decentralized finance. Thank you. So I was wondering if some of you have questions.
Yeah, I could one. So, it's fine, I'm loud enough. So, I mean, I get you're starting with the euro, you're going to go to other fiat currencies, but if you're doing your peg to the euro,
yes,
you're basically inheriting the inflation from the fiat money. I mean, when you say negative interest rate, you mean inflation, right?
Yes.
So, I mean...
not exactly. It's the central bank. When you are a big company having money in your bank, the bank charges you small fees, so it's like 0.1% for the money you have in the bank currently in the Eurozone.
Yeah, sorry, just the... Okay, sorry. Because the term was just weird because that's a fee. But it's fine. So how are you solving the inflation thing? I mean, you're still pegged to the euro, which loses value, so...
You are pegged to the euro, and so if the euro inflates, your stablecoin inflates too.
Well, yeah, but that's not good, right?
The idea is to build stable coins that replicate what's in real life markets. So if the asset you are pegging to is inflating, then you are subject to this inflation. And it's really to bring traditional finance. The idea with the project, and there are also other projects which try to get rid of that, like Refluxo Labs and RAI, which completely gets rid of currencies inflation. In our case, we really replicate what's happening in the Forex and trying to put it on chain.
Got it. I mean, the reason why I'm asking this is because, I mean, I've been working on, like, in the past couple of years on one stablecoin project. Didn't go really well because of reasons. But we were toying with the idea of what could you peg a stablecoin to, which is actually, stable or even rises in value over time. And we figured that the only thing that actually behaves in that way is the value of the global economy. Because whenever you have a recession, the global economy still grows by an average of like 0.3% a year, and you could in theory take GDPs and purchase power parities as like key economic indicators for starters from the leading countries and then from all the countries, and create an indicator which is actually an accurate representation of like global economic value. And that is stable because one country, 10 countries can fail and implode, and it's still gonna stay the same.
So that's an interesting point you have. And the remark I want to make is that your stablecoin is only stable to the oracle value you choose. So if you choose an oracle that is euro corrected of inflation, then your stablecoin is pegged to euro corrected to inflation. And so it's really easy. You just have to change the oracle, and you can peg your stablecoins to whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, you would be making like a completely new monetary indicator, which basically aggregates a lot of other economic ones.
And we wouldn't be able to use Chainlink and Uniswap v3 oracles to
yeah, well, man, changing the world. Thanks.
Sort of a hypothetical question. If you pegged your stablecoin to an ever-appreciating value, what parts of the model would start to break down? Because I assume counterparties wouldn't want to leverage against an appreciating asset.
So the problem of the stable coins of the underlying asset increasing in price is similar to the problem of the collateral price decreasing. So this is really the same problem. And in our case, when people want to get leverage, they get leveraged on the variation of the collateral with respect to the stablecoin. So if you have a stablecoin as collateral, and if the other stablecoin you are pegging to increases in value, well, these people they lose money because it is as if the price of collateral was decreasing with respect to the stablecoin.
So if you found that not enough people wanted perpetual futures, it might be worth making a stablecoin that depreciates in value. And if there is too many people, you may want it to appreciate in value.
Yes. Yes.
Hi, maybe that's a curveball, but I don't know, there is upcoming regulation in Europe against stablecoins. How do you plan to navigate that landscape?
Not well. We are decentralized. So I'm presenting the project. I'm just a core contributor of it. It's going to be, I hope, a full community behind it. And given the decentralized nature of the project, we hope that we will pass under the radar. And the idea is not to be outlaws and to work with terrorists. And that's a completely side thing. But my vision about decentralized finance is that it's going to be split in two in the future. There's going to be one decentralized finance that is as today with like permissionless, anyone can interact, and there is going to be a compliant version of it where people have like KYC oracles telling them if the address is compliant or not. And the idea is still to be compliant in the end and to show that we are willing to talk. But first, we need to make our proofs and show that the protocol can work. That would be a first great step.
No more questions? Maybe the very last one.
So it really clicked for me when you said that standard liquidity providers are earning leveraged yield because they're getting yield on the whole portfolio. I'm curious how the risk profile of being a standard liquidity provider changes as the demand for longs goes down. Like, yes. I'm assuming in a bear market, there's very little demand for longs.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So I did not mention it kind of on purpose, but standard liquidity providers, they face a small slippage when they exit. So let's say that the protocol is only collateralized at 110%. Well, we may have the parameter saying, look, if you are a standard liquidity provider wishing to exit, you may only be able to get 90% of your claim, and so this is the risk. This is the risk for them. But before arriving to this, we have many other safety modules we can activate to boost demand for long. And you're right to mention it. The big problem for the protocol, I mean, not the big problem, the main risk is a decrease in demand for long. In bear market, but we have lots of tools we can activate to boost this demand first. Then we have the standard liquidity providers, and we can activate extra incentives and make our model look more like a senior right share model where we distribute governance tokens to boost the yield. But we don't want to use that too much in the first place.
Good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I'll be here around if you want to ask some questions.